30,000 Roman legionaries retreat in panic. The line crumbles under the barbarian charge. Screams tear through the air as men fall like scythed wheat. The consul watches paralyzed from his horse. In minutes, 2 entire legions will be massacred. Then, from the reserve, emerge without shining armor, without golden standards. Only rusted iron and scars advance in absolute silence. Perfect formation. The barbarians do not understand what they face until it is too late. They are the Evocati, the most lethal force Rome ever created. Veterans recalled from retirement for one final war. They are not ordinary legionaries. They are professional killers with decades of experience. Steel muscles forged in 100 battles. Each has killed more men than most can count. They earn double a centurion's pay. They obey only one general. They ignore the Senate completely. No one knows exactly how many exist at any given moment. They are Rome's secret weapon. But a disturbing question arises that no historian has satisfactorily answered. Why did Rome need such a force? Why were the regular legions, trained from youth, not enough? What kind of threats did the empire face that required pulling veterans from retirement? The answer reveals a dark secret of Roman power. The regular legions won wars of conquest against predictable enemies. The Evocati existed for situations where losing meant the end of Rome itself. The story of the Evocati begins with blood and betrayal on the empire's frontiers. In the year 58 before Christ, Julius Caesar has just arrived in Gaul as proconsul with 4 legions under his command. Barbarian territory, Germanic tribes crossing the Rhine, Celtic confederations threatening the Roman province. Caesar needs victory after victory to feed his political ambitions in Rome. But he faces a problem no other general has solved before. His legions are new, without real combat experience. The young recruits train for months in safe camps inside Roman territory. They learn formations, marches, fortification building. They practice with wooden swords against posts, memorize orders in Latin. But training cannot replicate the absolute chaos of real battle. The terror of seeing your comrade decapitated beside you. The smell of blood and entrails under the burning sun. The moment your formation collapses and you must decide between fleeing or dying. Recruits break in their first combat. Caesar observes this problem with cold clarity during a skirmish against the Helvetii. His 9th Legion scatters when enemy cavalry charges the flank. Soldiers throw down shields and run. Centurions shout orders no one hears. In 20 minutes, 800 men die unnecessarily because panic spreads faster than the enemy. Caesar needs more than numbers. He needs men who do not know fear. Men who have seen death so often they ignore it completely. He sends messengers throughout Italy with secret orders. They seek specific veterans from campaigns in Hispania, Africa, the East. Men who served under Pompey, under Lucullus, under any general who faced brutal wars. Not any veteran suffices. They must have at least 15 years of active service. They must have survived at least 5 major pitched battles. They must be willing to abandon their farms, their families, their blood-earned retirement. In exchange, Caesar offers something no soldier can refuse: gold and glory beyond any normal compensation. The first 50 arrive at Caesar's camp in Gaul 3 weeks later. They do not march in neat formation like the young legionaries. They walk with the casual confidence of predators. Every movement is calculated to conserve energy. Their bodies show the cost of decades of war: missing fingers, broken noses, scars crossing entire faces. Many limp slightly from badly healed wounds. But their eyes hold that empty stare only men who have killed 50 develop. Caesar watches them train for one single day and understands he has found exactly what he needed. These veterans need no basic training. They know every dirty trick, every weakness in every enemy formation, every way to kill a man with maximum efficiency. They can march 50 kilometers in a day, carrying full gear without complaint. They build fortifications in half the time of regular legions. When combat arrives, they advance without hesitation, without breaking formation, never retreating. The barbarians face men who have spent their entire lives perfecting the art of death. No competition is possible against that concentrated experience. Caesar organizes them into units separate from the regular legions. They do not carry the standard legionary eagle. Their standards show personal symbols, trophies from previous campaigns. He calls them Evocati, the recalled ones. The name sounds innocent, almost bureaucratic. It hides the reality of what they represent. A private shock force loyal only to the general who summoned them. Operating outside Rome's traditional military structures, the Senate does not officially approve their existence. They do not appear in formal military records. They exist in the shadows of Roman power. The first real test arrives faster than expected. The Germanic tribes under Ariovistus cross the Rhine with 120,000 warriors. They demand territory inside Gaul. They threaten to invade the Roman province if Caesar interferes. Caesar's legions total 30,000 men, but morale is broken before it begins. The young soldiers have heard stories about the Germans, giants, blonde, who drink blood, fight naked, never retreat. Fear spreads through the camp like plague. Centurions report desertion attempts every night. Caesar summons his military tribunes for an emergency meeting. They propose waiting for reinforcements from Italy, retreating to safe territory. Negotiating, Caesar rejects every suggestion with icy silence. Then he does something no Roman general has attempted before. He orders all regular legions to remain in camp. Only the Evocati will march to meet the Germanic army. 150 veterans against 120,000 barbarians. The tribunes believe Caesar has lost his mind. The Evocati simply check their gear and march at dawn. Caesar's strategy is not suicidal as it appears. The Evocati do not go to fight a pitched battle. They go to send a message the young legions lack the temper to deliver. They march straight toward the Germanic camp without attempting concealment. Ariovistus watches from his tent, confused by this tiny force advancing without fear. The Germans surround the Evocati, laughing, shouting insults. They expect the Romans to beg for their lives. Instead, the veterans form testudo, shields interlocked, creating an impenetrable steel tortoise. The Germans attack with spears, axes, long swords. Metal bounces off Roman shields without damage. The Evocati do not counterattack yet. They simply maintain perfect formation, advancing meter by meter toward the center of the barbarian camp. The Germans push, pull, try to break the formation. Nothing works. After 2 hours of useless attack, the barbarians are exhausted, confused. Then the Evocati break formation and attack. What follows is not battle, it is methodical carnage executed by masters of the craft. Each Evocati moves with surgical precision. No wasted movements, no wild attacks. Block with shield, stab with short gladius in the abdomen. Withdraw a blade, move to next enemy. They work in pairs, covering each other's flanks, rotating positions to keep men fresh at the front. The Germans fight with individual fury, each warrior seeking personal glory. The Evocati function as a killing machine, every piece synchronized with the others. In 3 hours, 800 Germans lie dead or dying. The Evocati withdraw in perfect formation, leaving a clear message on the field. They took no prisoners, took no trophies, celebrated nothing, simply killed efficiently and returned. Ariovistus understands he faces something completely different from the Gallic armies he conquered before. These Romans do not fight for honor or tribal glory. They fight with the industrial coldness of those who turned war into profession. The Germanic king sends messengers to Caesar that same night requesting negotiations. Caesar accepts, but his terms are non-negotiable. The Germans return immediately to the other side of the Rhine. The news of what happened spreads through the Roman camp faster than any official order. The young legionaries watch the Evocati return, covered in enemy blood, without a single casualty in their ranks. Fear of the Germans evaporates instantly. If 150 veterans can humiliate an entire barbarian army, then 30,000 organized Romans are invincible. Morale transforms from paralyzing terror to aggressive confidence in a single night. Caesar achieves his goal without risking his main legions. The Evocati proved to be exactly the psychological weapon he needed. But this creates a new problem Caesar does not fully anticipate. The regular legionaries now see the Evocati as demigods, mythical figures impossible to equal. The veterans keep separate, speak little, never mix with the young troops. This distance generates admiration mixed with resentment. The centurions of the regular legions feel their authority eroding. Soldiers question orders, asking what the Evocati would do in that situation. The traditional chain of command begins to fracture. Caesar must act before division destroys his entire army's cohesion. He implements a carefully designed rotation system. Each regular legion receives 10 Evocati assigned as tactical instructors. They hold no official rank within the legion. They cannot give direct orders, they simply train, advise, demonstrate advanced techniques. The young legionaries learn by watching how the veterans move, how they assess terrain, how they maintain calm under extreme pressure. Slowly, the concentrated experience spreads through the entire army. Caesar's legions begin to fight with the ruthless efficiency previously shown only by the recalled veterans. This exchange transforms the character of the Roman army in Gaul. Before, the legions relied on rigid formations and blind obedience. Now, every individual soldier thinks tactically, adapts to combat according to the enemy, makes independent decisions when the situation requires. Centurions report their men no longer panic when things go wrong. Instead, they automatically reorganize, seek advantages, continue fighting without constant orders. Caesar's legions become something Rome had never seen before. Armies of veterans, even with only 2 years of service. But the true value of the Evocati reveals itself during the siege of Avaracum. Winter of the year 52 before Christ, the Gallic coalition under Vercingetorix adopts scorched earth strategy, destroying their own cities to deny resources to Caesar. Avaracum is the exception. A fortified city the Gauls decide to defend. 40,000 inhabitants take refuge behind 20-meter-high stone walls. Caesar needs to take it before his army starves. Roman engineers build siege towers, battering rams, earthworks, all useless against the massive defenses. The Evocati study the walls for 3 days without speaking to anyone. Then they present Caesar a plan no military engineer would approve. They will not attack the walls, they will attack the foundations. They explain that Gallic fortifications are built on buried wooden beams distributing the weight of the stone. If those beams weaken or are destroyed, entire wall sections will collapse. But executing this requires digging tunnels under enemy defenses while arrows, stones, and boiling oil fall from above. Suicidal work no regular legionary would accept voluntarily. The Evocati do not ask for volunteers, they simply take tools and begin digging. They work in 4-hour shifts excavating under the north wall while Gallic defenders try to stop them. Roman archers maintain constant pressure but cannot fully protect the miners. Casualties begin to accumulate. 3 veterans dead the first day, 5 the second. The Evocati continue digging without showing any emotion. For them, this is simply another job. The odds of death do not change the fact that someone must do it. After 9 days of relentless work, the tunnels reach the wooden foundations. The Evocati fill the cavities with flammable materials, dry wood, oil, anything that burns. They wait until midnight when the exhausted Gallic defenders sleep. Then they ignite the fire and withdraw. Flames consume the support beams for hours. At dawn, a sound like thunder echoes across the battlefield. 100 meters of wall collapse in a cascade of rock and dust. The breach opens a direct path into Avaracum. Caesar's legions charge through the breach before the Gauls can organize coherent defense. What follows is merciless massacre. The Romans are hungry, furious from weeks of siege, thirsty for revenge. 40,000 inhabitants of Avaracum are executed in 6 hours. Old men, women, children, no one survives. Caesar makes no attempt to stop the carnage. He needs other Gallic cities to see the price of resistance. The Evocati do not participate in the massacre. Their work ended when the wall fell. They rest in their tents, indifferent to the screams coming from the city. This victory temporarily breaks the Gallic coalition. Several tribes send envoys offering submission, but Vercingetorix understands something other Gallic leaders ignore. Caesar depends completely on his Evocati for critical operations. If those veterans can be eliminated, the Roman army will lose its decisive advantage. The Gallic leader begins planning operations specifically designed to force the Evocati into open combat where they can be surrounded and annihilated. The war in Gaul transforms into a personal duel between Vercingetorix and Caesar's veterans. The trap is set at Gergovia, capital of the Arverni. Vercingetorix fortifies the city on an elevated plateau accessible only by narrow, steep paths. He challenges Caesar to try taking it. Caesar recognizes the provocation but cannot ignore it. Leaving Gergovia intact would allow Vercingetorix to rebuild his coalition. Caesar orders a frontal assault, something he would normally never consider. The Evocati warn it is obvious suicide. Caesar insists he needs psychological momentum. He needs to demonstrate no Gallic fortress can resist. The veterans obey but prepare wills before marching. The assault begins at dawn. Legions advance along narrow paths under constant rain of projectiles. Stones, spears, arrows fall from above. Men die before approaching the walls. The Evocati lead the advance, their shields absorbing punishment meant for troops behind. They reach the city gates and begin forcing them. For a moment, impossible victory seems within reach. Then Vercingetorix executes his planned counterattack. Thousands of Gallic warriors emerge hidden on the slopes, completely surrounding Roman forces. The Evocati find themselves trapped between Gergovia's walls and the Gallic army cutting their retreat. Regular legions in the rear begin collapsing under pressure. Caesar watches from below, unable to intervene. The veterans form circle back to back, preparing to die, selling their lives dearly. But they do not fight to survive. They fight to keep the Gauls occupied long enough for the young legions to escape. Calculated sacrifice. Coldly professional, protecting the army's most valuable asset. The legionaries trained at the cost of their own lives. 700 Roman legionaries die at Gergovia. 43 of them are Evocati. Caesar loses nearly a third of his most experienced veterans in a single day. The army retreats in disorder, pursued by Gallic cavalry. It is Caesar's first serious defeat in Gaul. The Gauls celebrate as if they won the war. Vercingetorix is proclaimed savior of Gaul. Previously neutral tribes join his cause. 150,000 Gallic warriors gather under his standard. Caesar faces complete annihilation of his army and the end of his political career. But Caesar turns disaster into opportunity. He deliberately retreats, drawing Vercingetorix onto terrain favorable to Romans. The Gallic leader, intoxicated by victory, commits the fatal mistake Caesar expected. He aggressively pursues the Roman army instead of maintaining defensive position. Vercingetorix fortifies the city of Alesia, convinced Caesar must attack to save his reputation. 80,000 Gallic warriors occupy the elevated city. Another 70,000 camp in surrounding hills as relief force. Caesar has 40,000 hungry, exhausted legionaries. The odds are absolutely impossible. The surviving Evocati gather with Caesar in his command tent. They propose something that sounds insane. Do not attack Alesia. Build double siege. Inward walls containing Vercingetorix. Outward walls defending against the relief army. Trap the Gauls between two lines of Roman fortifications and wait for hunger to do the work. Caesar calculates needed material. 30 kilometers of walls, ditches, towers, traps. Requires weeks of intense work while two enemy armies watch. A single mistake and Romans will be crushed between both forces. Caesar orders the construction to begin immediately. Legions work 12-hour shifts digging ditches, raising palisades, building watchtowers. The Evocati supervise every section of construction, identifying weaknesses before they become disasters. Gauls attack constantly, trying to interrupt work. Romans continue building while fighting. Every meter of wall paid with blood, but fortifications advance inexorably. After 3 weeks, 30 kilometers of defenses completely surround Alesia. Vercingetorix is trapped like animal in cage. The relief army cannot reach him without breaking Roman lines. Gauls launch first massive assault against outer fortifications. 70,000 warriors charge simultaneously from all directions. Roman towers fire projectiles. Ditches slow advance. Hidden traps claim hundreds of victims. But Gallic numbers overwhelm. They break first defensive line at 6 different points. Evocati rush from breach to breach, plugging every hole with their own bodies. They fight 18 hours without rest, rotating positions only when too wounded to hold shield. 32 veterans die that day. Gauls retreat at dusk, leaving 8,000 corpses. Vercingetorix watches from Alesia, powerless. He understands his only chance is coordinating simultaneous attack from inside and outside. He sends secret messengers to relief army with plan. 3 days later, at dawn, 150,000 Gauls attack Roman lines from both directions. Romans face pressure on every centimeter of defenses. Legions spread so thin, fewer than 200 men per kilometer of wall. Evocati divide into teams of 5, each team responsible for critical sector. They become tactical firefighters, rushing to any point where lines begin yielding. Caesar himself takes sword and joins fight, not as distant general, but as soldier in line. Legionaries see him fight beside them, covered in enemy blood, and find strength they did not know they had. Evocati create torch signal system, communicating instantly which sectors need reinforcement. Legions flow like water, concentrating where pressure greatest, thinning where enemy hesitates. Battle becomes pure endurance test. Not who fights better wins, but who can continue fighting when all seems lost. On third day of final siege, Roman provisions completely run out. No food, little water. Wounded die from lack of medical supplies. Legionaries so exhausted, some fall asleep standing, holding shields. Gauls will launch another massive assault, detecting Roman weakness. They break defensive lines in northern sector. Thousands of warriors pour through breach, cutting Roman communications. Caesar's army fragments into isolated pockets, each fighting desperate own battle, not knowing if others still exist. Evocati face their definitive moment. 78 surviving veterans against 10,000 Gauls, controlling critical passage between inner and outer fortifications. If Gauls hold position, they can unite two armies and destroy Romans piece by piece. Veterans charge straight into center of enemy mass without hesitation. No formation, no elegant tactic, only brutal violence concentrated at single point. They open bloody corridor through Gauls, allowing fragmented legions to reconnect. 53 Evocati die in that charge. 25 survivors so wounded they cannot continue fighting. Caesar watches his most lethal force bleed out before his eyes. The Evocati who transformed his legions, who won impossible battles, who saved his army dozens of times, now lie broken and bleeding in Alesia mud. But their sacrifice bought time Caesar needed. Legions reform coherent lines. Reinforcements reach critical sectors. Gauls, exhausted after 3 days continuous combat, lose momentum. Vercingetorix watches from Alesia walls as relief army crumbles. Thousands of warriors begin withdrawing. Retreat becomes rout. Siege of Alesia ends with impossible Roman victory. Vercingetorix surrenders next day. He leaves Alesia mounted on finest horse, wearing finest armor, rides to Caesar's tent, throws weapons at Roman generals' feet. 80,000 Gauls inside Alesia starve in following weeks. Caesar deliberately lets them die, sending another message about cost of resisting Rome. Gaul fully pacified. Caesar returns to Rome as supreme conqueror, but without Evocati who made victory possible. Only 25 original veterans survive Alesia fit to fight. Caesar's success with Evocati does not go unnoticed. Other Roman generals begin copying system. Pompey recalls veterans for Hispania campaigns. Mark Antony recruits Evocati for Eastern operations. Every powerful general builds own force of veterans loyal only to him. Senate watches with growing alarm. These private forces operate completely outside state control. They do not answer to consuls, do not obey senatorial decrees, ignore laws limiting individual military power. They are personal armies disguised with respectable names. Rome creates tools of own destruction. In the year 49 before Christ, conflict between Caesar and Senate reaches breaking point. Senators demand Caesar disband legions, return to Rome as private citizen. Caesar refuses. Senate declares Caesar enemy of Rome, orders Pompey destroy him. Caesar faces impossible decision. Obey means political and probably physical death. Disobey means civil war bleeding empire dry. Caesar crosses Rubicon with legions, defying Roman law prohibiting armed armies in Italy. Roman Republic enters final agony lasting decades. Caesar's Evocati march with him toward Rome, but now face moral dilemma never contemplated. They will not fight foreign barbarians. They will kill other Romans, possibly friends, family, comrades from previous campaigns. Many veterans served under Pompey before joining Caesar. They know men they will face in battle, drank with them, shared tents during brutal winters, saved lives in combat. Now must kill them because two ambitious politicians cannot share power. Some Evocati desert before war begins. Majority remain loyal to Caesar for reasons even they do not fully understand. Caesar's legions advance rapidly through Italy. Pompey retreats, refusing direct battle with Caesar. Understands Gaul veteran legions superior to own troops. Pompey evacuates Italy completely, taking army to Greek East where can recruit reinforcements. Receive supplies. Caesar pursues relentlessly. Two forces finally clash at Pharsalus. Thessaly, 45,000 Caesar legionaries against 50,000 Pompey, but numbers do not tell real story. Caesar has 800 Evocati. Pompey has 300. That difference determines Rome's fate. Battle of Pharsalus begins at dawn, 9th August. Pompey positions cavalry on right flank. 7,000 horsemen against Caesar's 1,000. Plan simple. Cavalry crushes Caesar's flank, surrounds legions, destroys from rear. Proven tactic worked hundreds times. Pompey trusts numerical superiority so much, promises victory before noon. Caesar observes enemy deployment, smiles. Pompey fell into exact trap Caesar prepared. Evocati wait hidden behind main line, invisible to Pompey scouts. Pompey cavalry charges with arrogant confidence. 7,000 horsemen full gallop, lances ready. Expecting break Caesar thin cavalry line in seconds. Caesar horsemen retreat orderly, exactly as Pompey anticipated. Pompeian cavalry accelerates, pursuing believed easy victory. Then Caesar unleashes Evocati. 800 veterans emerge against enemy cavalry flanks, but do not fight as traditional infantry. Ignore riders. Attack horses directly with short gladios. Horses fall screaming, legs cut, bellies opened. Riders thrown ground where Evocati execute efficiently before rise. Cavalry charge becomes bloody chaos. Pompey riders try retreat, but mass-owned men pushes forward against Roman swords. In 20 minutes, Pompey best cavalry destroyed or fleeing. Evocati do not pursue. Immediately turn. Attack exposed infantry flank. Pompey army collapses like house cards. Caesar legions advance, turning collapse into rout. 15,000 Pompey soldiers die at Pharsalus. Another 24,000 captured. Caesar loses 200 legionaries. No Evocati die that day. Pompey flees to Egypt seeking refuge. Egyptian King Ptolemy, calculating power balance, orders Pompey murdered, gains Caesar favor. When Caesar arrives Egypt, presented Pompey head as gift. Caesar weeps, seeing remains old friend and ally, but tears change nothing. Caesar now most powerful person Mediterranean world. No one challenges militarily except other Romans with own Evocati. Pompey's sons continue war Hispania with inherited father legions. Mark Antony controls East with personal veterans. Marcus Aemilius Lepidus governs Africa, another private army. Rome fragments into personal military domains. Evocati, created protect empire external enemies. Now guarantee Rome tears apart. Every faction has veteran force loyal. Every leader trusts soldiers follow personally before republic. System made Rome invincible, destroys from within. Caesar tries break cycle. After Pharsalus, discharges majority Evocati generous pensions, lands Italy. Thanks service, honors publicly, makes clear time ended. Rome needs peace. No more professional warriors seeking next war. Veterans accept retirement mixed feelings. Many know no life but war. Spent decades killing, now learn be farmers, merchants. Some succeed. Finding peace lands conquered blood. Others drink die, unable live without combat adrenaline. But Caesar keeps small Evocati core personal guard. 200 veterans never abandons, sleep adjacent rooms, test food before touches. Caesar trusts these men more than any senator political friend. Saved life dozens times battle, no weaknesses, fears, doubts, remain loyal unquestioning. For them, Caesar not politician dictator. General led through hell, brought back alive. Loyalty surpasses ideological consideration. Senators watch veterans barely concealed hatred. Evocati represent everything wrong. Rome, professional soldiers, no loyalty republic. Only one man. Glorified mercenaries sold Rome highest bidder. Senators begin conspire, meeting secretly, whispering restore republic. Recognize while Caesar has Evocati, any coup fails. Veterans neutralized before Caesar eliminated. Conspiracy focuses finding moment Caesar unprotected. Moment never arrives. Ides March. Year 44 before Christ. Caesar attends Senate session discuss planned Parthian campaign. Conspirators know only chance. Roman law prohibits weapons inside Senate building. Evocati cannot follow Caesar inside. Mark Antony, Caesar's second command veteran guard commander. Detained outside one conspirator. Trivial conversation. Caesar alone among 60 senators. At least 23 committed assassins. Conspirators spend previous night sharpening daggers hidden under togas. No sleep. Terrified, euphoric simultaneously. Caesar wakes morning uneasy premonitions. Wife Calpurnia begs not go Senate. Had nightmares death. Augurs report negative omens. Birds flying unfavorable patterns. Caesar almost cancels attendance. Then Decimus Brutus, closest friend secret conspirator, arrives house. Argues canceling superstitions makes Caesar appear weak. Senators await decisions. Parthian campaign. Caesar, convinced man plans kill, decides attend. Evocati form around litter, escorting through Rome streets toward death. Senate doors. Evocati stop law requires. Mark Antony intercepted Trebonius. Forced to stay outside. Caesar enters building alone. Immediately surrounded senators feigning present petitions. Pushed towards center hall. Away doors any escape. Servilius Casca strikes first. Dagger cuts Caesar neck. Wound superficial. Caesar turns, grabs Casca arm. Other conspirators hesitate fatal second. Caesar, Rome deadliest general. Even unarmed surprise remains dangerous. Then all attack simultaneously. 23 daggers plunge Caesar body, but conspirators not professional soldiers. Blows uncoordinated. Many miss vital organs. Caesar fights nearly full minute, shouting, striking, trying reach doors. Sees Marcus Brutus among attackers. Protected, almost adopted son. That betrayal breaks something deeper, physical wounds. Stops resisting, covers head toga, collapses base Pompey statue. Irony unnoticed. Man destroyed, Pompey dies, feet image. Outside, flying, Evocati here screams. Try force doors, but senators' loyal conspirators block inside. Veterans begin batter doors, shields. Mark Antony finally understands trap. Runs building. Arrives too late. Conspirators emerge bloodstained, proclaiming freed Rome tyranny. Evocati contemplate general murdered blood pool. Show no emotion, simply observe. Conspirators misinterpret silence acceptance. Believe veterans recognize justice acts. Last mistake commit. Evocati not act immediately. Await orders, Mark Antony. Automatic Caesar power air. Antony assesses situation coldly. Conspirators control Senate. No army. Evocati only organized military force Rome. Caesar discharged veterans' live colonies throughout Italy. If Antony acts correctly, transforms assassination opportunity consolidate absolute power. Antony begins sending secret messengers veteran colonies. Calls former Evocati back service. Promises vengeance wealth. Respond en masse. Thousands veterans converge Rome following weeks. Men thought war days ended. Take arms one last time. Not do Mark Antony. Do Caesar. General led, ate same rancid food. Slept mud beside. Shared every danger. Conspirators murdered symbolic father. For Evocati, not politics, personal. Destroy every man involved, assassination regardless time takes. Vengeance meticulous, patient, absolutely complete. Conspirators understand too late fatal error. Killed Caesar. ignored force sustained. Evocati not disappear, general dies. Transforms something more dangerous. Professional assassin's single objective, unlimited resources. Mark Antony releases Caesar treasury, pays generously every veteran. Former Evocati begins systematically hunt conspirators, not public executions. Silent murders, dark alleys. Houses burned night, poisonings, banquets. Conspirators try flee Rome. Veterans follow across empire. No one escapes. Brutus Cassius. Conspiracy leaders flee east, remaining followers. Recruit legions, eastern garrisons. Promising defend republic tyrants. Face insurmountable problem. Legions, garrison troops accustomed peaceful patrol, comfortable life. Mark Antony Octavius, Caesar adopted heir, march against 19 veteran legions. 8,000 Evocati march those legions. Men spent years Gaul, fought Pharsalus, know every war trick exists. Battle Philippi becomes inevitable reckoning. Forces meet Macedonia. October year 42 before Christ. Brutus Cassius position armies fortified hills, forcing Antony Octavius attack uphill. Perfect defensive position except critical factor. Evocati not fight stupid frontal battles. Study terrain 3 days. Identify every weakness enemy lines. Discover Cassius camp depends single spring water. That night, 50 veterans infiltrate lines. Poison spring animal corpses. Water undrinkable 24 hours. Cassius abandon elevated position. Descend access other water sources. Troops march vulnerable column. Exposed open terrain. Evocati wait hidden surrounding gullies. Attack column fully extended, cutting isolated segments. Cassius legions try form defense. Surrounded, outnumbered. Cassius watches massacre hills, completely powerless. Best legions destroyed 3 hours. Evocati offer surrender terms. Survivors, join us or die. Majority switch sides immediately. Cassius suicides night, plunging own sword abdomen. Brutus alone remaining legions. Tries break encirclement, escape north. Reorganize forces, continue war. Evocati pursue relentlessly. Every Brutus attempt establish camp. Veterans attack night, killing sentries, burning supplies, disappearing before organized response. Brutus troops bleed slowly, losing 100 men every night, constant attrition. 2 weeks, army edge collapse, sheer exhaustion. Brutus finally accepts pitched battle open field. Exactly Evocati expected. Republican legions advance traditional formation, expecting honorable battle organized armies. Veterans break every legionary combat rule. Attack flanks simultaneously 3 directions. Use light cavalry, harass rear. Launch incendiary projectiles, closed ranks. Brutus legions fragment coordinated pressure. Evocati flow breaches, turning fragmentation annihilation. 14,000 Republicans die, another 11,000 captured. Brutus escapes fewer 500 men. Suicides following dawn. Roman Republic dies with him, Macedonian field. Philippi victory consolidates Antony Octavius' power. Control Roman world between. Antony takes rich east. Octavius governs Italy west. Discharge majority veteran legions. Establish colonies throughout empire. Evocati receive best lands, most generous pensions. Rome tries by peace, 2 decades civil war. Works time. Veterans exhausted, old, content finally retire. Generation conquered Gaul, destroyed Pompey, avenged Caesar. Slowly disappears Italian Eastern Province farms. But Antony Octavius cannot share power anymore, Caesar Pompey. Tension grows years. Antony marries Cleopatra, Egypt queen, establishing Eastern court Alexandria. Octavius accuses betraying Rome, wanting establish Eastern monarchy. Antony responds accusing Octavius usurping Caesar name without deserving legacy. Propaganda flows both sides. Eventually words exhaust. Only war remains. Both leaders begin recruit Evocati again. Veterans respond much less enthusiasm. Tired fighting Roman wars. Octavius understands it needs decisive advantage. Specifically summons oldest veterans serve Caesar beginning Gallic wars. Men 60 years older. Bodies wrecked decades campaign, offers something money cannot buy. Honor fight final battle, true Caesar heir. Many veterans reject call, prefer die peacefully beds. Some respond, hardest, most lethal, never truly abandon war. 300 ancient veterans gather Octavius standard. Final concentration, Roman military experience. Mark Antony recruits own Evocati Eastern legions. Men serve Syria, Judea, Egypt. Veterans Parthian Arab wars. Equally experienced, equally lethal, lack cohesion Caesar Gaul veterans. Serve different commanders, different campaigns. Never developed instinctive understanding Caesar Evocati shared. Antony trusts numerical superiority compensate. Recruits 100 veterans against Octavius, 300. Numbers should guarantee victory. Do not. Both leaders' fleets meet Actium. Western Greece coast, September year 31 before Christ. Antony commands 400 heavy warships, many siege towers, catapults. Octavius' fleet, only 250 lighter ships, but Octavius has Marcus Agrippa commanding fleet, best living admiral. Has 300 Evocati strategically distributed key ships. Veterans spent lives adapting any situation, including naval combat never experienced before. Study techniques, consult experienced sailors, improvise tactics on march. Battle begins. Antony trying use superior weight crush Octavius ships. Massive triremes push against lighter enemy vessels. Should work. Pure physics dictates heavier ships dominate, but Octavius ships not fight pushing battle. Disperse. Surround Antony ships. Attack multiple angles simultaneously. Evocati board enemy vessels. Killing crews. Capturing ships intact. Transform naval combat series boardings where close combat experience completely dominates. Antony fleet begins disintegrate ship by ship. Cleopatra watches Golden Galley. Battle becomes massacre. Orders Egyptian squadron break combat. Flee open sea. 60 ships turn escape royal treasure. Antony sees Cleopatra purple sails receding. Faces impossible decision. Stay near certain death capture. Pursue Cleopatra abandoned fleet mid-battle. Antony chooses love over duty. Abandons flagship. Jumps fast ship. Pursues Cleopatra. Commanders watch horrified supreme leader flees combat. Morale collapses instantly. Antony Evocati. Abandoned general. Surrender massively. No reason die battle without leader worth loyalty. Octavius accepts surrenders, offering generous terms. Lands Italy, full pensions, total amnesty. Eastern veterans switch sides without internal conflict. For them, Antony employer, not father figure, Caesar previous generation. Professional loyalty limits when employer flees. 300 Antony ships captured, sunk. Only 40 escape Egypt. Octavius gains absolute Mediterranean control, losing almost no owned ship. Antony Cleopatra refuge. Alexandria knowing Octavius comes soon. Try recruit new Egyptian garrison army. Soldiers desert before training begins. No one wants fight Octavius Evocati. Veterans' reputation precedes. Considered invincible war demigods. Inevitable death anyone faces. Antony understands no escape. When Octavius' legions reach Alexandria gates, Antony stabs own sword. Cleopatra suicides days later as a poison. Last challenge, Octavius' power dies them. Octavius becomes Augustus, first Roman emperor, disbands majority legions, keeping 28 border garrisons. Surviving Evocati receive final retirement. Last generation, men served Caesar, avenged death, destroyed enemies, conquered known world. Now 70 years older, ruined bodies, memories full ghosts. Augustus grants luxurious villas, slaves, wealth beyond dreamed young recruits. Majority die within 5 years. Bodies simply surrender decades abuse. Evocati system persists under Augustus, fundamentally transformed. No longer private forces, loyal individual generals. Become official imperial army unit, subject state regulation. Veterans recalled only direct emperor order, not field commanders. Receive standardized pay, guaranteed pensions. Clear legal status. Professionalization eliminates personal loyalty made original. Evocati dangerous effective. New Evocati competent soldiers, not legendary killers. Civil wars. Augustus uses new Evocati strategically. Germanic wars. Roman legions march Teutoburg Forest under Publius Quinctilius Varus. 3 complete legions. 18,000 men accompanied 500 Evocati Dalmatian campaign veterans. Germanic tribes under Arminius set perfect ambush. Destroy Roman legions, 3 days brutal combat. Varus suicides. 17,000 legionaries die, but 400 Evocati survive fighting ordered retreat. 70 kilometers hostile forest. Reach Rhine carrying 2 saved legionary eagles. Destruction. Resistance prevents total disaster. Emperor Tiberius learns Teutoburg. Expands Evocati system, keeping permanent veteran forces critical frontiers. Rhine, Danube, Euphrates. Areas sophisticated enemies require superior tactical experience. Evocati no longer secret. Official Roman military structure part. But expansion dilutes effectiveness. Too many mediocre veterans called alongside truly exceptional. Standard gradually lowers. By Nero reign, Evocati barely distinguishable regular legionaries, more service years. Last truly notable Evocati operation occurs Jewish revolt. Year 66 after Christ. Judea explodes rebellion. Roman rule. Rebels massacre Jerusalem garrison. Defeat 12th legion attempting restore order. Rome sends Vespasian 3 legions, 800 Evocati. Veterans lead sieges, fortify Jewish cities. Jotapata, Gamala. Finally, Jerusalem itself. Use techniques perfected generations. Roman war. Mines, siege towers, psychological warfare, hunger blockades. Jews resist fiercely. Lack organized military experience match. Roman veterans. Jerusalem siege lasts 5 months. Evocati direct every critical assault, every wall breach, every city penetration. Not superhuman warriors, Caesar stories. Men 40-50 years, arthritic knees, old wounds ache, but no craft, absolute precision. Waste no lives, useless, heroic attacks. Advance meter, consolidate every gain. Eliminate resistance systematically. When Jerusalem temple finally burns, Evocati secures sacred treasures before flames consume. 1 million Jews die. Evocati lose 52 men. After Jerusalem, Evocati system enters terminal decline. Flavian emperors prefer regular legions. Easier control. Less expensive maintain. Last true Evocatici. Retire Trajan reign. Replaced ordinary veterans recalled specific campaigns without special training. Without rigorous selection. Without elevated status. Name persists military documents another century. But reality, original Evocati disappears, men carried title under Caesar. Rome most lethal force fades, not glorious battle. Administrative, bureaucratic, irrelevance. Final Evocati records appear, Marcomannic Wars, Marcus Aurelius. 200 veterans recalled reinforced Danube legions, invading Germanic tribes. Fight competently, nothing more. No miraculous victories. No brilliant tactics, no legendary feats, simply older soldiers doing work younger men should handle. When war ends, last Evocati return farms. No historian records names, no monument celebrates actions. Memory once represented lost century silence. Rome continues conquering without. Demonstrating even most lethal forces eventually superfluous, relentless imperial machinery? Yeah.